New tonight, Georgians who depend on SNAP benefits to put food on the table have temporary relief on the way. Today, 2 federal judges issued last-minute rulings saying the Trump administration must use emergency reserve funds to cover the costs. Federal funding was set to run out at midnight, impacting more than 42 million Americans. That includes more than 1 million people here in Georgia. What's unclear tonight is how quickly the debit cards for groceries will be reloaded. The Agriculture Secretary calls this move a temporary Band-Aid.
It doesn't even cover half of the month of November. So here we are again in 2 weeks having the exact same conversation.
There are no formal negotiations expected to take place over the weekend, extending the shutdown until Monday, which is day 34. President Trump, who left for Florida this morning, posted on Truth Social, urging Republicans to, quote, play their Trump card, go, quote, nuclear, and get rid of the filibuster to bypass Democrats and end the shutdown. Families across Metro Atlanta aren't waiting for federal help and are taking matters into their own hands. Our Monique John spent the day with community in Stone Mountain. So, Monique, what are they working on there?
So, Jobina, they're a grassroots organization held a food giveaway. That organization, Purpose Fulfilled Community Outreach, tells me that almost 270 people came out to pick up food, more than they originally anticipated based on past attendance. The founder, Tiffany Ross, says that to serve that need, they had to use donations from the Atlanta Food Bank and tap into her organization's own reserves.
Ross says her organization typically gives out food 3 times a week, but she says the need has tripled within the past week.
As fast as we're collecting, as fast as it's going out. So we do need the additional help, whether that's people donating tangible goods or donating financially so that we can buy more inventory.
People here say they rely on SNAP assistance and giveaways like this.
My rent is one of our checks. So when we go to look for food, we still have to pay all the utilities. We have to do all of that. So the food stamps really, really help.
Chantel Carter-Wilburn says food insecurity exacerbates her health problems.
Especially with being a diabetic. And then I've had the gastric bypass, so that's another thing. So food is definitely a big issue in my life.
Ross says 7 volunteers came to help Friday.
When you see that smile on somebody else, it kind of makes your day, being able to bless somebody else like that.
Ross says that Atlanta Food Bank donated most of the food for Friday's giveaway, but she says it costs about $1,500 to $1,900 to fund the food giveaways each month. She says she worries about how the area's food banks are going to meet growing needs.
This surge, though, is going to deplete our inventory for future drives.
Ross goes on to say that Stone Mountain has an underrepresented community of refugees and people facing homelessness that rely on their food giveaways. She says they're stretching themselves to serve families in need. Jobina?
Monique, thank you so much for this report. And we have a few other things you want to tell people about SNAP right now. We appreciate it tonight. So right now, 1 in 8 Americans depend on SNAP benefits to help pay for groceries. And that comes out to an average of $177 per person each month. In Georgia, nearly 1.4 million people receive SNAP benefits each month, and 12.5% of the state's population, that's included in all of this here, of relying on SNAP benefits. And federal officials say it would cost about $9 billion to keep SNAP benefits flowing in November.